Crucial and long overdue, NAU researchers are leading the way to find out more about rainforests around the world.
We actually know more about the bottom of the ocean or the surface of Mars than we do about tropical forests, which is where most species on our planet live.
Back in 2018, NASA launched the Global Ecosystem Dynamics Investigation. It can identify accurate signs of ecosystem dynamics, carbon storage, and biodiversity that cannot be easily seen from typical satellite images.
We measure tree diameters, and we could say with this diameter, we know where the top of the canopy is and how big that canopy is. And so based on that, we could say, if we have like 1,000 trees measured, how does the structure for those 1,000 trees compare to what the satellite is telling us?
This is helping researchers debunk theories. So far, they have found most trees have dense leaves further down instead of at the canopy.
If you have a nice layer of leaves at the top, it's shady up there. However, if most of those leaves are kind of more in the middle, then that matters for these millions of species that live in the tropics.
Researchers are also using the laser to track species to see how they can keep populations alive while global temperatures continue to rise.
What we want to do is take all those times we've seen those monkeys and say, well, that's related to this forest structure, this temperature, and we actually be able to create a map of where do these monkeys live. So then we could basically preserve them better.
Yeah, we got it. They're cute little guys. So what also makes this unique is its ability to discover something new that scientists have studied for years, which is, NAU says, so rare in this field, and it couldn't come at a more perfect time with current temps in the Amazon peaking at 97 degrees, when the average there is in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
So we've got lasers from the ISS, no big deal, doing big work.
It's pretty cool to see what they're doing.
Yeah,
Thank
incredible.
you, Jamie.